Welcome to the last leg of our 10-day journey in Scotland, and this episode is going to be a lot of driving. We're gonna start with the Isle of Skye and see all of the picturesque spots there, and then drive all the way from the Portree to Glasgow and explore the city before we fly back and round out our trip in Scotland. First morning at Skye, and we woke up to a pretty grayish weather, but there was some glimpse of sun, so we are kind of optimistic. So now on the way to explore the area, we have a few spots that we've planned on the way. They're all beautiful scenery and some of the peaks. So Skye Peninsula is extremely picturesque. There's the places from our bucket list, so if you're planning your trip to this part, I definitely recommend looking into those. The weather unfortunately wasn't on our side, so we only got to see 2 of them, and then the rest was a mix of rain and driving. Driving to some of the beautiful spots, which are like 15-minute drive. The drive is extremely beautiful. It reminds me of Iceland a little bit, with colors and mountains changing. And I've realized I underestimated how cold it is. So this is gonna be my friend for the day. And we're going to the Kiltrock. We came to Kiltrock and walking from the park lot to what promises to be an amazing view. This is my new attire for walking in Scotland. Apparently like 2 days ago it was a much nicer weather. So here's the famous Kiltrock behind me, and it stopped raining, so we can actually walk towards it. So the raincoat here doesn't work. The moments when you're very happy to get back to the car is this kind of weather. To our next spot. Okay, remember that Kiltrock we just saw? That wasn't it. So we're gonna go to see actual Kiltrock. Rain is picking up again, so quick stop for food. It's actually very tricky to find some restaurants at this area. Well, there's not too many places to start with, and it's also beginning of April and majority open from mid-April, but hopefully we'll get some food in this place. This place is gonna give us some food. It's more like a fast food sort of place. We've got some soup of the day, and then special, which was
the cauliflower.
We came to Donan Castle. Welcome to Donan Castle, oldest castle that was continuously inhabited in Scotland. So the family lived here for over 800 years, which is impressive. The castle is very beautiful, so you go through the succession of rooms with original interiors, and then you also can visit the grounds and a beautiful garden. And this castle stands on the lake, and so one of the things you can do if the weather is nice is also take a boat trip around the lake. But if you come for more of a grayish weather like we did, you can visit the beautiful garden that even has its own waterfall. I'm surprised I didn't find it as one of the things to visit while on the Isle of Skye, and really glad we actually stumbled upon this beautiful piece of architecture. So if you're in Isle of Skye, I definitely recommend stopping by the Donan Castle. drive, we drove around the south part of the Skye Peninsula. There's quite a few hikes that we didn't make, again because of the weather. It was really unpredictable. Rains would break in at any time. And now we're back to Portree city. It's got quite a few nice restaurants. We're at Dulce and Ross restaurant. It has a nice view and we've got a table by the window. We've ordered some fish and some vegetables. And we're gonna try their typical dessert, which is a baked yogurt. It seems like it's typical for Scotland. We're done with both our dishes and now we're up to dessert. It's called baked yogurt, but it looks more like a salad. So let's try it. This is one of the best desserts I've ever tried, actually. I don't know if all baked yogurts is so good or just this one. But it's a definite recommendation. Dulce and Ross restaurant at Portree. We're checking out from our lovely hotel here in Portree, then going to have a breakfast, and after that we have a long drive to Glasgow with some picturesque stops on the way. It's time for a quick room tour. It was really clean and nice, quite new and very comfortable. So if you're looking for a hotel in the Isle of Skye, I can definitely recommend this one. As it was a full day drive from Portree to Glasgow, we used this opportunity to see some beautiful spots on the way. Here's a few that we planned, but as it often happens, I'm sure we'll find some spontaneous places that are just as beautiful. So let's start our drive. So we're stopping at the first of the picturesque locations. There's a bridge, it's just behind me. And on the other side you have this beautiful valley. It's definitely a picturesque stop, and it's an easy one too, because it's just off the road and it has a parking. So this one was just a random stop on the way, and it was this beautiful waterfall in the middle of the road. So we felt compelled to stop and just enjoy the view. In about an hour drive, the endless rain finally turned into sunny weather, and midway through we stumbled upon this beautiful lake with an amazing view on the mountain, so we just stopped and decided to have a bird's-eye view of this beautiful location. Picturesque stops on the way. It's Elian Donan Castle. I'm not quite sure what it's famous for, but it's very beautiful. So you got this nice outlook, and you can see it from both sides, this side of the bridge and then from the other side. We stopped at Glen Chocolates. It's a coffee shop and it's right by the road with this amazing scenery, see, on both sides. And we're gonna get some coffee. So we stopped at this lovely place behind me. It's called the Dean and it's right on the lake. And we're gonna go walk around a little bit. As this trip was mostly driving, I wanted to quickly talk about driving Tesla around Scotland. So overall, it was a very pleasant experience. We were initially worried about finding charging spots and having to adapt our route, but I must say it was actually pretty convenient. We only needed one charge from the capital all the way to Isle of Skye, and there is a very convenient charger at Fort William. And for the rest, we just needed to make sure that our hotels had a charger, especially in the Isle of Skye, because this is where you don't have any superchargers. If you have any specific questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I will be happy to share. So all in all, it was a pleasant experience, and right now we're stopping for our charge in Fort Williams. It's the same cafe as last time, but now it's sunny, so the place looks completely different, and we can actually explore streets around here. Just arrived to Kimpton in Glasgow after 5 hours drive, and the weather's super nice, so we're gonna go check the city and hopefully find some picturesque spots. Have a restaurant plan, we kind of improvised. We saw this restaurant on the street, it's called Fat Lobster. The inside looked nice, and then we looked at the menu and it's mostly seafood, fish and of course lobsters, so we're gonna try one and a couple of sides. We decided to just explore a bit more of the things around. So we're going for the breakfast in this coffee shop. Here's the breakfast. It's called fruit Danish, and I've got a pear version, the plum versions. Okay, let's try the coffee. Our trip to Glasgow was extremely short, so we only spent here one full day, and this place definitely deserves more time. It's the largest city in Scotland, and there's plenty to explore, especially on the cultural side. It also has beautiful architecture. There is Victorian style, Gothic architecture with beautiful cathedrals. There's beautiful central station, and then some of the modern buildings like the Glasgow Science Centre, Clyde Auditorium and Riverside Museum. And then it also has a lot of green space. There is more than 90 different parks in the city, which is honestly impressive. It's definitely a very nice place to have a walk. And then last but not least, there is also delicious food and really nice coffee scene. We tested a few different spots, and here's a couple of places we liked. As I said, a day is definitely not enough to explore all of the different sides of Glasgow, so this is one of the places that I would like to come back to with a better plan to be able to see gems the city has to offer. And this concludes 10-day trip in Scotland. I hope you find some inspiration for your trip. If you have some of the bucket list places in Scotland, I would really appreciate if you can share them down in the comments. And that's gonna be it for this episode, and I will see you in the next one.